Hey guys, it's Miki ASMR here, and today I'm going to be reading a Hinata Shoyo X listener. This one's titled, When Did It All Change? And yeah, without further ado, let's get right on into the video. Turning over to face the right side of his bed, Hinata felt disappointment wash over him as the ocean waves that he had often seen crashed on the shores of Rio. The side of the bed that you were usually on felt cold, which either meant that you had left hours ago, or that you had never come back in the first place. On one hand, it wasn't uncommon for you to leave early in the morning to start your day, as your schedule had demanded that you started your day early. But this morning, like the last few, it was different. Typically, when Hinata came back to his apartment in the evening, he could expect to find you there. But for the last week, it was hard for him to catch you at all. You had started to come in much later than you did before, as if you came home at all, and if you did, you went straight to sleep. It wasn't the things that weren't said that led Hina to believe that something had changed. It was the things that weren't done that led him to thinking that something had changed. Your eyes no longer searched for his in a crowded room. Your hand no longer found a shirt clutched tightly as you slept. The smile that would always light up his world when he spoke to you was nowhere to be seen. As Hinata had started for the day, he began thinking about how he was going to tell you that he was leaving for a series of new volleyball games tomorrow. Typically, he would tell you the moment his coach told him about the games, but you had barely exchanged any words with him, and it felt like this would be the right time to bring it up. No matter how many times he had left, his leaving was always hard on you. More often than not, Hinata was consumed by the time he spent abroad, and as a result, his contact with you during those times were very minimal. He wanted to do better, but he couldn't find it in him to do so. After he had checked himself in the mirror, Hinata checked his phone and was surprised to see how much he had slept in. Midday was just minutes away, and it wasn't like him to sleep in so late into the day. It didn't feel right. None of this felt right to him. None of it felt like you. The sound of the door to the apartment opening, then closing pulled Hinata from his thoughts, and he quickly rushed out of the bedroom to see you at the entrance, taking off your shoes and setting down your bag. Even with tired bags under your eyes, even with your eyes having tired bags underneath, and even with your hair in disarray and your shirt in crinkles, he still found you beautiful. You had always been beautiful to him no matter what. He always could find you beautiful. "Hi," Hinata said as he stared at you. His voice startled you, which caused you to slightly jump. Your eyes widened at the sight of him, and Hinata could tell that you had not expected him to still be in the apartment. I decided to come back and have lunch here, you said as you started to make your way to the kitchen. Hinata wanted to say that he would stay and have lunch with you. He couldn't remember the last time he had shared a meal with you. He never wanted things to end up like this. "When did it all change?" Hinata asked. You paused in your steps and turned to face him. It wasn't necessary for Hinata to ask for Hinata to clarify his question. The only thing that he could be referring to was your recent change in habits and behavior. You looked at him for a moment and searched through your memories to see if there was a defining moment that stood out among all the rest. "I don't know. There wasn't any moment. It just changed." You replied with complete and utter honesty. "I don't know what to tell you, Hinata. One day I woke up and didn't love you as much as I once did." You desperately wanted to say that out loud, but you couldn't. His brown eyes were shining with tears, and you didn't want to break his heart any more than you already had. "You can't put me through all of this, though. You broke me too." "What did I do?" Hinata exclaimed in shock. "He was never mean to you. He never mistreated you. He didn't understand how you could be hurt." "You left me, Shoyo," you began to say. "You always left, and you never said anything afterwards. I'd be lucky if I got a text from you every once in a while when you were gone overseas. I tried to understand. I knew you were busy, but it's only like you acknowledged me as your significant other when it was convenient for you, and I felt like I was left waiting for you to remember my existence. Hinata took a step forward towards you and tried to hug you, but you stepped backwards, a few stray tears running down your cheeks. I didn't mean to. Your intentions didn't change anything, though. I'm not in love with you anymore. You didn't say that last part out loud, though. Silence hung in the air as Hinata finally understood where you were getting at. He didn't know what to do or say. Your feelings had changed and you had made your choice. I know that you have some away games coming up and that you're leaving tomorrow, you said. Hinata began to open his mouth to ask how you knew of his upcoming departure, but you clarified how you knew before he could even ask. Bokuto-san told me when I ran into him a few days ago at the convenience store. Hinata nodded his head in understanding, but that didn't stop the disappointment he felt settle in his stomach, like a black hole that tore everything in his path. You had known that he was going to leave, and you didn't say anything until right now. While you're gone, I'm gonna pack up my stuff and leave too. Where? Don't worry, I have a place. I'll be fine. Hinata's shoulders slump as he tries to think hard as to what he could do or say next. He's pretty sure that the right thing to do would be to fight for you or try to make things work. But Hinata couldn't find it in him to find a way to fight for you. You should start packing your bags, you said as you started to walk to the kitchen. I'll do that later. I'm supposed to meet Miya-san for lunch, Hinata said. His response was no surprise to you. He always packed his bags very last minute. You nodded your head, showing no indication towards how you felt about what Hinata said, and the thing that he didn't say. The atmosphere felt awkward for Hinata, and he made his way towards the entrance of the apartment. I'll see you later, Hinata said, putting on his shoes. You had heard the door to the apartment shut, and you wiped your tears away that freely flowed down your cheeks. Goodbye, Shoyo. Wow, depressing much. That would never happen. I mean, sure, I'd be upset that he would leave me, but like, I would never fall out of love with Hinata. Are you stupid? Like, what? That would never happen. That was depressing. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get notified every single time I post a video. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye!